to talk about Amphibia. Woo! Okay, so, I do apologize for being a little teeny baby tiny bit overexcited in my first video. So, yeah, I was excited. So I just wanted to start off this video by addressing that, and also that part about burying your other shows. It is just a joke, okay? Like, I still love My Hero Academia, and of course, I am standing the current season that is airing 100%. It was just a joke, because I am just that hyped! So I didn't mean to put down your other shows, it's just, I was sharing a joke with you all. So, if anyone took that too seriously, don't. But the second most important thing after that is all the comments I got on that video just asking, where can I watch the show? It's not on Disney Plus. Also, a lot of people complaining that they thought the show was boring, so they don't want to watch it because they're impatient and they don't know how to chill. Well, I have the solution for you. First of all, if you're too impatient to wait for Amphibia Season 2 to come out on Disney Plus, there is always Sling TV, and you have all the episodes on demand. So you can go ahead and sign up for that if you want. But if you do manage to have one patient bone in your body, Amphibia Season 2 is reportedly coming to Disney Plus on June 4th. So we can all freak out together! And for all the rest of you who just don't have Disney Plus, I'm sorry. Now to all of you who can't get in the show because you think it's boring. First of all, chill. Second of all, I created a convenient list of all the most important episodes for you. So this is your go-to index, because if you're like me, which you obviously are, you are more plot-focused, right? You aren't gonna be the one to watch SpongeBob because there's no story, it's just slice of life and nothing's happening. You're more the kind of person who reads Harry Potter, or Lord of the Rings, or maybe you watch My Hero Academia like I do, because there's an overarching story and you're excited. So, here is Rhapsody's helpful index for people who like plot-driven stories. Trademark. Okay, I'm gonna have little stickers down on the bottom if you just kind of want to rapid fire this. So this one means it's important. This one means maybe it's important and will come up in Season 3, but we don't know yet because Season 3 isn't out. This one means that it's kind of important, but like if you didn't watch it, you could still understand what's happening just fine. You'll just have to assume a few things out of context. This one is just purely for references. If you want to understand some funny gags later on, they're callbacks to other things. It's fun. And then this is just a personal favorite. Okay, here we go. So, Season 1, the first episode, Anner Beast and Best Franz. This one, of course, is very important and it sets up the story. Just be patient with it, though. Amphibia is a bit of a slow burn in Season 1, so I completely understand why some people just kind of drop it because they don't see any immediate value to it, because y'all have attention spans shorter than a gnat. I'm guilty of that too, so let's all be pathetic together. But trust me, it's worth it. Season 1 is you building connections to Amphibia. It's you learning who all the people in Wartwood are. It's you making memories with Sprig and Anne that will come back into play later on. So I mean, if you don't want to actually have a connection to these characters and you're just here for the fighting and the plot, I mean, that's fine, but like the whole point of the first season is... Okay. Back to the show. We all know you came here for the plot anyway. Why am I even trying to talk you out of it? Episode 2, Cane Crazy and Flood, Sweat, and Tears. This one, purely just references.
Oh, Bob's cane! My cane!
Hopluck and Stakeout. Again, this one is purely just for references, especially Hopluck. It's also a personal favorite of mine. The Domino Effect, purely just for references. And Theft Auto, again, just for references.
I don't feel safe.
Girl Time, one reference in Season 2. You don't necessarily have to know it, but it's there. Dating Season. This one is less important, but it's a subplot that's going on in the background, so it's kind of cute and fun to just kind of check in on that every once in a while. Family Shrub. Okay, this one has some references to it. It's also kind of important, but again, you could gloss over it. It could come into play later on. There's some stuff we learn about the Planters' family past that could be kind of important, but we don't know yet because season 3 isn't out. Lily Pad Thai, this one has some references, and it's also a personal favorite. Toad Tax and Prison Break. This one is very important. It is absolutely a must-watch for the plot, okay? Grubhog Day and Hop, Pop, and Lock. This is purely just for references. Also, it's kind of a fun episode, too. It's not a personal fave, but it's still a good episode. Hop Popular. This one is less important. There's a reference to it later on that's kind of important, but I mean, you don't have to watch it in order to, ascertain the necessary information that you need to process what happens later on. It's just a fun little tidbit that helps the story move a little bit more smoothly. You can take it or leave it, I guess. A Night at the Inn. This one's purely just for fun and for references. Bizarre Bazaar. This one is less important. I mean, again, it's one of the ones where you can perfectly ascertain the information necessary for you to carry on with your life without having to watch it. But, you should kind of still watch it. Cursed and Fiddle Me This. Favorite episode. I love it. And also references. Combat Camp. This one is kind of important, I guess. Or it just could be important later on. We don't know. It's a thing that happened. Anne of the Year, which again ties directly into Reunion. So it's kind of like a two-parter. So they're both important. And that's the end of season 1. Reunion is the finale. Yay! And now we move on to season 2, which arguably has a lot more plot-relevant episodes. Episode number 1, Handy Ann and Fort in the Road. This one is very important. Also, tulips.
I grow tulips. Yes, he does.
2, a caravan named Desire. This one has some less relevant plot stuff, but it comes back for the finale. We'll get to that later. Toadcatcher, which is 100% absolutely need to watch, because we get back to what Sasha's up to. Swamp and Sensibility and Wax Museum. This is one of my absolute favorite episodes, and it is a must-watch for me. There are some references for later on stuff. Also, just anyone who loves Gravity Falls, Wax Museum, you have to. It's like law. Marcy at the Gates! 100% very plot-relevant episode. Scavenger Hunt and the Planters Check In. This one has a lot of references and also very important, but it's mainly at the end of Scavenger Hunt and the beginning of the Planters Check In. The rest is purely just for fun. Little Frog Town and Hopping Mall. This one has some references. It's a personal favorite, and it's probably going to be important later on. But again, we haven't seen season 3, so we don't know how important it is. It has some stuff that will probably be in season 3. Let's just say that. The Sleepover to End All Sleepovers and A Day at the Aquarium, 100% necessary to watch, both of them. Night Drivers and Return to Wartwood. It's a fun episode, but you don't necessarily need to watch it. I mean, I liked watching it because it's like, oh, you actually see the Planters going back home, and it ties up the end of that little road trip thing that happened, right? But it doesn't have anything plot relevant to it. Not really, so, you could leave it, I guess. Ivy on the Run and After the Rain. Ivy on the Run has some stuff that we learn that could be important references later. And then After the Rain is very important. You should definitely watch it. And then, of course, The First Temple, must watch. New Wartwood and Friend or Frobo. New Wartwood is Marcy's first day in Wartwood, and I would consider it a must-watch, but, it is also kind of just filler, kind of. But Friend or Frobo is absolutely necessary to watch. Then Toad to Redemption and Maddie and Marcy. We don't know exactly how big of implications this episode will have in season 3, but some stuff happens in Toad to Redemption that could very well lead to some big stuff happening in season 3. But also Maddie and Marcy. Spoiler warning, skip ahead if you don't want to hear it, but
y'all, do you think it's kind of a coincidence that Marcy's best friend that she makes in Wartwood happens to be a witch who can resurrect people?
That's just me spitballing, but Anyway, the second temple and Barrel's Warhammer, absolutely a must-watch. This one is critical. The third temple, again, critical. And then the dinner and the Battle of the Bands. Now, it's not full of plot-relevant stuff, but it is still a must-watch. This is my absolute favorite episode, and everybody who wants to enjoy the finale must watch this episode. It does have plot-relevant stuff, yes, but not as much as others. It's just a really amazing set of episodes. And then the finale! So that is your index for watching Amphibia, okay? Are we all happy? Are we all ready to watch Amphibia? Great, cool, okay. Now, on to my thoughts on Amphibia, finally. So, I kind of already spoiled, but, you know, when it first came out, I wasn't exactly thrilled about it. The concept was like, it's a isekai in a frog world. Pfft, okay, whatever. But, you know, I gave it a watch because I tend to think that every cartoon is worth watching at least once, unless it's something so idiotic you can tell just by seeing the first poster. But it's Disney, and they've made some good stuff. This and Owl House, they were their flagship cartoons for this up-and-coming generation, so of course I had to check them out. And I was instantly intrigued by the plot. I agree, it is kind of slow. It's a slow burn, but you are forming connections with the characters, and you are learning about Amphibia, and you are making memories along with Anne and Sprig, so that it's all the more heartbreaking when you watch True Colors! I get how that's not exactly some people's personal preference, but that's what you have my list of episodes for, so now that's taken care of for you. I generally think the show is pretty funny. The actors deliver lines beautifully a lot of the time. The writing is a little here and there. Like, there's a joke in Maddie and Marcy about Hop Pop that I feel was just really shoehorned in there. So, I mean, you know, they didn't bat 1,000, but they came kind of close. One of my absolute favorite things about what they're doing with the show is just how relatable the main characters are. Now, I don't know how y'all Gen Zers feel about how they write Anne, Sasha, and Marcy, but just based on my interactions with all you younger people, this is painfully accurate. All three of these girls, painfully accurate. And so I find it very fun to watch. But beyond that, I love what they did with Sasha. Her whole character of just being the toxic friend. She's not an evil villain, but she is an antagonist. And the best thing about this show is that there's more than one antagonist. So you have all of these different cogs that... It's like real life.
It's just like my life. In a way.
And I really, really love that. Like, how many other shows have really done this? The toxic friend angle. I mean, I'm sure there are plenty, but I haven't seen them. And, like, Anne still wants to be friends with Sasha, but Sasha is still kind of the worst, and she's a bit of a manipulator. And it... I kind of question putting that song at the end of Reunion, but it works enough. It works enough. And that episode, Reunion, is when I knew I loved Amphibia, because it showed me that it wasn't afraid to both be wacky and fun, but also incredibly serious and heart-pullingly sad. And when they did the end of part 1 thing, I knew that I was in for an epic quest. These people are writing an epic saga, and I am here for it. Yes! Let's do this! And of course, all of that gets confirmed when we meet Marcy and basically find out, oh yeah, this is basically just we're done Dungeons and Dragons, and this is what we're doing now. But I love it. I love all the references too that they sneak in. Like, did you all see the Zelda shield and it just keeps going. I love it. The creators are such nerds, and I love it. I mean, okay, there are like times when Anne can be a bit annoying with the way that she acts, kind of very modern and blah, 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 and I get it. But on the other side of it, it does keep her from being a Mary Sue, because she is actually having to work for things because of all of her immature flaws. So balances out. You know, sometimes you just don't like a character, and that's okay. But I fell in love with Marcy the first time that I saw her on screen. She's amazing. But holy cow! Oh man! They were hiding her intentions for such a long time, and when we finally found out, I mean, it wasn't the biggest deal to me because I've never ever felt the whole, no, I don't want to move away, you're ruining my life thing. That's never been a thing for me. I've enjoyed every time I've ever moved, but I do understand the sentiment. So, I mean, although I don't have a deep connection to Marcy's pain, I can understand it logically because it's logic. I also think that the episode where Anne finds out what Hot Pop did with the music box was kind of weak. I've had to sit and watch my fair share of young girl drama with father figures. Anyway, I'm sick of those tropes. I'm sick of them. And usually they're all so shallow, and the girls are always so quick to not trust anymore. And it's really stupid. Like, girl, as much as you want to get home, maybe you should listen to the frog, who is much older than you, by the way, and actually hear what he has to say on the matter. Because guess what? The Calamity Box is very, very dangerous, and he had good reason to hide it. It's not like he destroyed it. He was keeping it safe in a safe place where no one would ever find it. So he literally didn't do anything wrong. It may as well have been with contacts because it was safe either way. Anyway. Yeah, that episode was kind of meh for me, but we do get to learn a little bit more about Polly and Sprig's parents, which the theory that their mom was somehow very connected to King Andreas, I still like. But I mean, he's like 1,000 years old, so how even? Anyway, Wally is one of my favorite characters, hands down. There is almost no competition. I overall just really enjoyed their approach to season 1, although it is kind of slow, and I went back and I had to rewatch it with my brother, who is now into it, and also now my sister, thanks to True Colors, and we're all gonna watch season 3 together. I'm so excited. But yeah, no, going back and watching all of it, I realized just how stupid it was of me to just skip everything to get to the juicy parts, because you gotta slow down and just have fun. Otherwise, you're just gonna burn yourself out. And I know how fun it is to binge. Holy cow, when I first found out about My Hero Academia, I binged the first 2 seasons in like less than a week. So I know. But at the same time, let's all exercise a little restraint and a little delayed gratification, okay, fam? But then, of course, we get to the really juicy parts of this conversation, and that is True Colors. What did I think of True Colors? What did I think of True Colors? Holy cow, I have so many thoughts. Okay, first of all, I kind of hoped that it would have been an actual 2-parter. I know the episodes are segmented into 2 parts already, so technically 1 episode is 2 episodes, so a 2-parter is 1 episode. But the pacing felt awfully rushed at some parts. I wanted to actually slow down and enjoy some of this. Couldn't we have had a 2-parter? Or like, maybe just make it an extended episode, so technically it's, quote, 3 parts? Something? But anyway, I still think that they did a good job, even within the time constraints, which they pointed out themselves, which I thought was kind of ironic. The general didn't have as much to do with the story as I thought she would. I was still kind of questioning, like, why is she here and what does she add to the story? Season 3, explain. I love how Sasha is still being Sasha and that she isn't, like, changing very quickly. I like how they're keeping her realistic, but it did feel like her character was kind of flip-flopping a lot, because at the end of Battle of the Bands, it looks like she was kind of coming around, but she still went through with her plan with Grime, but she still kind of turned around at the end there, which the turnaround, again, was something they need a little bit more time to kind of emphasize. But either way, I love how Anne responded in the very appropriate way. It's like, you've been giving her second chance after second chance after second chance, and now she comes out being like, I want to take over Amphibia. Lol, that is where you draw the line. I don't care who you are. That is where you be honest with your feelings. It's a little late considering that she's planning a full-on invasion, but okay. I mean, I kind of wish some budget had gone into the whole army part, but we all know where the budget went. Speaking of which, the finale of the finale. So I don't think anyone was surprised to find out that King Andreas was evil. I am kind of cautiously optimistic about his whole evil master bit, because there is a prophecy, there's a Dark Lord, there's a little tropey. Spice it up for me and serve it to me on a silver platter, and then we'll see how it goes. But I mean, I don't have high standards or anything. No, I've just seen it a lot, so it'd be fun to see a new take on it, but cautiously optimistic. King Andreas's background with the whole, my ancestors were peaceful explorers. Psych, they were conquerors! I saw that one coming from a mile away. I feel like Andreas's delivery could have been a bit more like dramatic or whatever, but here's where we get to the dramatic part. Marcy's reveal. How she was responsible for them getting to Amphibia. First of all, I'm still questioning, like, okay, how did the music box end up in our world? Two, how did the book about the music box end up in our world, unless Earth has a history with this whole thing in this universe, and I'm excited to know more. And also, why did Marcy just immediately assume that this rando book and this rando box that looks like the picture in the rando book just would magically transport her somewhere? It seems a little far-fetched, but okay, I'm suspending my disbelief. Let's continue. Marcy's reaction at the reveal. Oh, this scene is so tender. This scene is... Poor Marcy, honestly. Polly getting legs was weird. I agree with Sprig, it was weird. I don't know what I was expecting. That's what a tadpole looks like with legs. So what were y'all expecting? I don't know. And then, of course, Sprig's fake-out death. I, for a moment, sincerely thought, oh, holy cow, are they gonna kill off Sprig, one of the title characters? Because the way that they were doing it made me think for a moment, of course, now Marcy goes and saves him, which was a little bit of a letdown, which kind of, made Anne's whole incredibly amazing and very expensive fight scene just feel a little bit less... Yeah, like, if they hadn't shown Marcy going after him right then and there, like, if we had just seen Anne go after King Andreas with all of our emotions of, like, did Spring just die? Riding behind it, I think that would have been a lot better, and then we show that Marcy flew in and saved him. I think that would have worked a little bit better, because my emotions felt a little bit cheated. But okay. Fine, whatever. You do you, man. You do you. Fight scene was beautiful and nothing needs to be changed about it. I love all of this plot relevance and amazing, beautiful animations. Yes! And then, of course, the final scene with the portal and the you-know-what. Holy cow. Now we all know why Disney was hesitant to release the episode, now don't we? I would advise children to have discretion too. Holy cow. When was the last time you saw a kid's show, let alone a Disney show, stab someone on screen? I mean, I know Gravity Falls came close, especially with the Lumberjack Ghost episode, but it was more implied. It was almost on screen, but it was, at the end, it was implied. Still really dark, but this is like full on screen. But it's no big deal, right? It's no big deal. It's not like Sasha predicted it or anything.
One of these days, she's gonna get herself killed. Oh, don't say that!
Oh, my emotions feel toyed with. I am hurt inside. So I loved the finale. All in all, I loved the finale. It was amazing. Had some flaws, but I loved watching it. And now let's talk about season 3! Okay, so at the end, we should all know by now that they released this sneak peek of the season 3 opening, the theme song. And bam, I gotta just say this. I kind of hope that this is rough animation because, well, it's not exactly peak, is it? I mean, okay, tons of other shows have had this happen. They put a lot of good budget into the original theme song when the show was starting. That's normal, that's natural, we all love it. But then, you know, a necessary change has to come to the theme song and the budget kind of goes down. This is something that's happened before, because instead of starting a show, now you're in the middle of a busy work schedule and maybe you don't have the same kind of time and budget to spend on it. But since season 3 is still a ways out, I kind of have my fingers crossed that they will please touch up some of the animation, because some of it is a little jarring. And then the rest of it just looks like normal TV show level quality. It's not like the nice, smooth animation we had in the original opening, which is just kind of a little disappointing. And it doesn't quite flow the same way. Like, there's a lot more that's happening. And that last scene with Anne feels very, not very smooth. But, I'm still excited. I understand you have working restraints and you have budget restraints. So, I mean, if you're planning on spending all of that time and budget on some epic fight scenes, go ahead. I will sit here patiently and I will wait. But that being said, let's dive into the meat and potatoes. So, holy cow! The Planters are going into the human world. I love this. I can't tell you how many times I've watched a show that's like an isekai, where like a character comes to our world or we go to another person's world and we see all this stuff and it's really cool, but then we never have the exchange. We never have the opposite happen. That's what fan fictions are for, right? The characters going into the other world that we didn't get to see in the show. The little things. And I'm so excited. We're gonna meet Anne's parents. Like, holy cow, imagine what that's gonna be like. I mean, Marcy's parents probably thought that she ran away and took the girls with her. How long have they been gone? At least a couple months, unless there isn't some sort of time travel shenaniganry going on here in between dimensions, which, you know, they could just as easily do that. But imagine Anne showing up on her parents' doorstep like, hi, sorry I disappeared for a few months. These are talking frogs. Can they stay with us? Also, Marcy kind of died and Sasha's still missing. We need to call their parents. Oh, man. Oh. I wonder how they'll write the parents, though, and if they'll be cool with the whole situation at all. It'll be fun. And of course, seeing Sprig, Polly, and Hop Pup's reactions to the human world and technology, just the little tidbits we've gotten so far have been amazing, and I can't wait to see more. I am hyped. But then, of course, you know we're going to have flashbacks to what Sasha's doing. She's probably going to be leading the charge against King Andreas, which is a fun turnaround right there. They've already got the toads assembled. They just need to rally up the frogs, and then they'll have a sizable army to go after King Andreas. I mean, Sasha's in the position to play a very critical role. And holy cow, Marcy! You pulled a Luke Skywalker on us! I mean, I was kind of ready and expecting her to just be necromanced back to life by Maddie, but I mean, this is a thing that is also happening now. It's like, dude, okay, you're going there. All right then. And then, of course, we get to see a bunch of more cool robots, which is just really awesome. So that begs the question, the Calamity Box can work with just 2 gems, question mark? Okay. So are there other ways to get to the other worlds? I don't know. I wouldn't think so. The Calamity Box seems to be the main thing. I'm curious to see how it all works. Also, there's clearly going to be some government hunting down the talking frogs thing, which, you know, I've watched and read enough government hunting down the things for experimentation trope that I'm kind of over it. Been there, done that. If y'all have read the Pegasus books, y'all be burnt out too. Oh man, I could spend an entire episode just talking about those books. Let me know if you want to hear me scream about how I hated the ending, and we'll have a good time later. Bring some nachos, I'm hungry. So, I mean, if they do it right, I'll have fun with it, or I'll be intrigued, but I'd rather just kind of have fun, because I'm so tired of taking that trope seriously, so... But it's Amphibia, so I know I'll have fun. And we'll probably get to know who all these weirdos are, right? You know, lots of human characters. I'll be honest, though, I kind of miss the frogs. I really do. Which is why I'm hoping we'll cut back to, you know, how Sasha and Marcy are doing. Oh, man. And then, of course, Super Cyan. Yes, puns. Woo. Oh, I'm excited to see how she learns how to use her powers. That'll be fun. So yeah, I don't really have a lot of specific hopes. I just hope that it's fun and good, which I think all of us hope for. People are saying season 3 will probably be the final season, which, you know, fair assessment, because the 3-act structure is classic. And, you know, I'm all here for it. I'm excited to see who Andreas is working for. I'm excited to see how they solve the problem. I just want to keep supporting the show and watching it and hyping it up and making fan art so that the crew will keep having the budget to make the show even better, because I want to see it succeed. So I am going to be watching the episodes live as they come out when season 3 premieres, and I hope you all will be doing the same. Again, you can get Sling TV if you want to join me at that. I don't think I'll be doing any kind of reactions to the episodes. Like, I won't be recording myself, because I'll be with my brother and my sister, and, you know, reaction channels, like, when you're watching something new for the first time, you want to be shutting up and listening to it and not making over-the-top reactions. Yeah, I don't think we'll be doing that. But if you want me to, like, give my reviews about the episodes as they come out, if you want me to just, like, post a little something on Instagram or whatever, just let me know. I think I'll just end up doing little reviews about it either way. But if y'all have some fun ideas, I mean, chat, go nuts, go hog wild, go grub hog wild. Puns, we love them. We don't have an air date for season 3 yet, which is sad, but, you know, probably next year, most likely. I'm happy to wait, honestly. Just so long as Disney doesn't pull the plug on the show, I'll be happy. So I hope you all enjoyed the little picture that I did. I doubt that this will actually happen in the show, because when I was drawing this, I just kind of had the realization Anne was purposefully designed to go Super Saiyan. That's the reason why she has the leaves in her hair and the twig in her hair, and the reason the way she looks the way she does is so that she can transform into this. When I was trying to draw Sasha and Marcy, there just wasn't a whole lot of compatibility there. I didn't feel the instant click of, oh yeah, it could look like this. I really had to fight for these designs to work, and for that reason, I don't know if they are meant to go Super Saiyan like Anne. I mean, it's totally possible that they could. I think it'd be cool as, like, the last battle where Anne is like, I can't do it by myself, and they're like, power of friendship, woo! And Marcy's like, Sailor Moon! I don't know, something fun, and then they all, like, kick Andreas and the evil lord's tails, and it's awesome. I wouldn't mind that. That'd be fun. But I mean, I don't know if they'll actually do it, because Sasha's whole thing is with the toads and the swords and the being a tank, and Marcy's whole thing is being smart and currently being incapacitated. So, yeah, Anne's whole thing is she's the main character and this is what she's doing. So I don't think that they will make the other girls superpowered, but it's a fun idea. And I hope you all enjoyed this video. What did you all think of Amphibia, seasons 1, season 2, and then the finale? I'm excited to hear your thoughts. Go ahead and y'all be offensive. I won't care. Cheerio, Toodlepip, and have a lovely day, all you scrumdiddly-umptious viewers and couch potatoes.